I had an interesting idea come into my head about the times that we want to be seen the least, potentially the times we need to be seen the most, the times where we feel the ugliest, the most unlovable, the least interesting, the least desirable, the least beautiful, the least wonderful. I feel like they're the times we need to show people that we feel that way, so that they can open up a space to remind us that we are not all the things that we see ourselves to be. It's interesting to me that the times I need people the most, I spend the most time alone, because to ask for, it feels like I'm a burden to like, not always even a burden, because it doesn't always feel like that. I think more accurately it feels like I dislike myself in that moment to the point where I feel like I've got nothing to give, and I don't want to be seen in this way, you know? I don't want to be seen in such a vulnerable state of feeling insecure and upset and in pain. And like for the last 2 days, I've been battling a health flare. And so I've not been the most mobile, and I've been having to like have this by my lower belly. And I think that really brings out that part of me that's vulnerable, that part of me that really just wants to hide. So I'm doing the opposite by filming from my bed, because that's just all I feel capable to do right now, is be on my bed. But I need to speak. I feel like I need to speak. There's so much on my mind, so much on my heart, and I've been spending too much time on my phone, too much time with screens, because when I feel like this, as much as I could use my Kindle or read a book, when I'm in pain, I do just tend to go for the easiest distraction I can find, which uses the least like active processing of the brain, because obviously my brain's still working really hard no matter what I'm consuming. But whatever, like if I can just put something on my laptop and just not have to worry about doing anything, when I'm in pain I usually will choose that. And I'm not going to shame myself for that, because I think that's okay. But when you have something that's chronic, you know, a chronic health condition, it's kind of still important to take note of how you choose to like distract yourself. Because also when I'm not having a flare, when I'm having like an emotional flare, not a physical one, that's also my go-to. And the times I read are usually the times I feel kind of okay, because I can focus on what's in front of me on the book. Whereas in the times where I've got so much mental chaos going on, I find it the hardest to just look at a book and think, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit here for a few hours and just read this, and act like there's nothing that's clawing at my chest right now. I tend to go for comedy. That's what I tend to do. Just put something funny on, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Something funny, but also wholesome. Like, I'm not for the sort of comedy that's like, there's a specific type of comedy and it's like wholesome but funny and just silly and playful. That's the sort of comedy I like. Yeah, I've been watching this girl on YouTube who I just love, called Nessa, and when I watch her videos I get the feeling of like, I want to do all of these things, because a lot of the stuff she does are things that I do from time to time in my day-to-day life. Like, I read a lot, I do art a lot, I walk a lot. But she lives in Vienna and I live in a town in Cornwall, so where I live, there's not really much going on in terms of activities. It's more nature, which obviously is a huge blessing. But regardless of the location, I find myself thinking, oh, I love the feeling, like what she's getting when she's really reading, lost in a book. I'm like, oh, I love that feeling. And I think in my head, oh, I want to do that right now. But then something stops me, and I know what stops me. I could say a whole load of things that I could pretend that it is, but I know what it is. It's just the ease of passive entertainment. That's what it is that stops me. Because if something's going to be easy, you know, really easy, brainless, thoughtless, and I could just lie there, as a human, like, most of the time we're going to choose that option. So something I really want to do to work around this is welcome in books. Am I shaking there? Is the tripod shaking? Welcome in books that are really fun and easy to read. So I've been reading like kids' books. What have I been reading? Charlie and the Glass Elevator, I started last night. And I managed to read a good bit, but then after about an hour, obviously the Black Miracles, you know, and then all of a sudden the book's very uninteresting because the whole universe is at my fingertips. But I did well, and I'm going to read more, like, when I finish filming, and I actually will. I think what we do from the second we wake up really does steer where we choose to get our dopamine from for the rest of the day. And I am in the habit currently of picking up my phone straight away when I wake up. It doesn't feel good. It usually makes me feel anxious and sick and sad. So I guess to like put that into words and vocalize that right now on the video, you can't vocalize something like that and then continue to do it and not be insane, because I think that's just insanity, isn't it? Like, the definition of insanity, isn't it? This is probably like some Instagram misquote or something that I've seen, but I'm pretty sure what I saw is it's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I don't think that's the definition of insanity. But anyway, that does sound like insanity to me. You know, if I pick my phone up and expect it to make me feel good, but it makes me feel bad every morning, then I'm an insane person. It is that simple. So the thing is as well, I wake up in the night, and when I wake up in the night I feel very anxious. When I wake up in the morning I feel very anxious. So then I reach for the nearest distraction and the biggest distraction, right? Because a book, when you're feeling like your heart is going to beat out of your chest and you're shaky and worried, and a book, bloody hell, like, it's going to have to be a good book to really cut in through that noise. So yeah, I have to make it difficult to reach for my phone in those times of anxiety and those times of early or late wakefulness, just before sleep and just when I wake up. Putting my phone downstairs helps. That really does help. Yeah, it helps. It's just something that I struggle with because, well, I guess I'm addicted. But also I am in a long distance relationship. And so another part of that is like good morning and good night texts. And so that's just like a part of the routine that we're in, you know, saying good morning and saying good night, like, every day. And so I guess, but like, we can do it anytime, we just do it whenever. Like, it doesn't have to be when we wake up, it's just in the morning and before bed at some point. So yeah, I think that could be a positive thing for me. Could be like, after I say goodnight, actively putting my phone downstairs. Something else I really want to do as well, I have a Nokia, like a little flip phone, and currently the way I use it is I take my SIM out of my iPhone and put it into the Nokia, but that just means constantly flitting between two devices, and like my iPhone then all of a sudden when I'm out of the house is unusable for calls, and it's just quite inconvenient. So what I thought would be good is just getting a SIM only, is it SIM only? No, getting a like pay as you go for my Nokia, so it'd be a different number, and like people, just my closest, could just save it as Mazey Nokia, and just put like a 10 or 20 quid on it, and then just have that constantly ready to go, if you know what I mean. So that I can just grab it and walk out the house, rather than having to do the switch over and then I get distracted and then I'm like, oh, I should just take my iPhone. Or like in the morning, for example, if my boyfriend calls and my phone's downstairs, it doesn't mean I missed the call, because I don't want to, like, the whole point of having a phone that's so great is the ability to connect with people that don't live near us. So I don't want to kind of rob myself of that, because that's like a big part of it. But yeah, like to be able to pick up the phone and still call him, or him still call me, or like while I'm in bed, or while before I get out of bed, sort of thing. That's probably a good idea, and that would really help. I like using my Nokia as an alarm. Like, I really enjoy that, because there's still some sort of structure there, but without the then, oh, once I pick this alarm up, then all of a sudden I'm going to be distracted, or I'll see something or not see something, and then that makes me go down a certain like thought path, and it's too destructive. Having my phone near me when I'm sleeping is too destructive, I think, to be like worth it. So yeah, that's a positive thing I've come to decide, I guess. But yeah, the times we want to be seen the least are potentially the times we need to be seen the most. And another reason for that, not just because people can help us and like remind us of all that we are, but it's to remind other people that it's okay and normal to feel small sometimes, and to feel insecure, and to feel behind, and all the things that when I feel I just want to lock myself away. It's like okay to feel all of that. That doesn't make you any less amazing to feel that. And also, just like remembering that you're not these thoughts that come into your head. Like, you're not those thoughts. They are merely passing by, but we attach to them. And when a thought becomes so, like, such a regular visitor, I think we start to act as if we know them, act as if they're a character in our life, you know. They almost become personified, as if they're a real person telling us this about ourselves. And they're not. They're really, really not. And at any point, as difficult as it can seem, you can take back that control. Is my tripod doing something weird? I swear it's slipping really slowly. I need a new tripod. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna stop talking now. Probably. But this has been good. I'm gonna do laying in bed vlogs more. Vlogs? This is not a vlog. This is a podcast at this rate, a very uneventful podcast. But it's quite nice. It's nice for me anyway. But yeah, I'll do more of these, and I want to be regular on here, so I need to accommodate for myself so that I can make sure that can be an achievable goal. But yeah,